Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mindfulness Mondays. Um, over 2 months ago, I talked to Barbara Riley about doing these mindfulness things every week, and I never realized how important they have been for me personally to do these things because we're talking about enjoying life. This is a weekly program about enjoying life in difficult times. And I have to say, I've never been in such more difficult times before as we face today. So I have to say that this has been incredible. This is our eighth presentation, and by far probably one of the most necessary ones that I've done so far. Our topic today is going to be cultivating compassion and emotional regulation. Cultivating compassion, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Cultivating compassion is difficult in normal circumstances. It's very difficult in challenging times. It is the worst, toughest time to be compassionate, but now, today, more than ever, we have to be compassionate. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. The only way we can survive the things that we are surviving is to be compassionate to one another. And the only way we can do that is by working together with our emotions to control our emotions, to not be as reactive as we have been, and able to show compassion. Nothing more important to today. So let's talk about what compassion is. Compassion is just the desire to ease one another's suffering, including ourselves. Let me say it again. It's a desire to ease someone's suffering. So if we're looking at somebody, if we see somebody who is experiencing some kind of pain or discomfort, anything, we're either going to be sympathetic to them. We're going to say, oh, I feel sorry for you, and walk away. We're going to be empathetic, where we go, oh, wow, I understand. I feel the same way. The same thing happened to me. Or we're going to be compassionate, where we're going to feel their pain, but we want to do something about it. So that's the difference. Compassion is the desire to ease someone's suffering, different than empathy. Empathy is just, I feel your pain. I get it. I know what you're going through. I've been through the same thing. I lost my job, or I don't have enough money, or I just lost somebody important to me. That's the difference between empathy and compassion. So, and I'm going to give an example right now. We're going to take, let's close, let's do this. Let's do a quick example of what compassion is. Let's close our eyes, sit in our back of our chair, take a deep breath in, exhale. Do it inhale and exhale. And now what we're going to do is bring to mind an individual, someone that we recently helped, somebody we saw in pain, somebody we recognized that had some issues, and we wanted to help them, and we did. So bring to mind a situation that brought it about. What did you do? Did you listen to them? Did you give them some advice? Did you give them some money? And now, how's it feel inside your body? Did you give them some warmth? Does it make you want to smile? Does it bring you a sense of goodness, calm? Just feel that person inside of you, their response, because you helped them. You ease their suffering just a little bit. And now we're going to open our eyes back up. And that is what compassion is. Compassion is the desire to ease someone's suffering and the goodness we feel inside once that suffering has been eased just a little bit. We didn't end their suffering, but we made it feel just a little bit better. And that's what compassion is. Now, the question is, what stops us from being compassionate? What stops us from looking at the situation and walking away from it? And a couple of things. The first thing, and probably the most important thing there is what is it that I don't understand? Whenever I'm in a situation and I don't have compassion, it's what is it that I don't understand? And I'll give you an example of what that means. 20 years ago, I'm in my mid-40s, my parents are in their late 60s, and I remember reading about elderly abuse, talking about elderly abuse, and seeing it, but I could care less about it. I had no compassion for it. It didn't matter to me. 20 years later, as my parents were in their 80s, their late 80s, all of a sudden elderly abuse mattered to me more than anything out there. Because not only have my parents, but I have aunts, uncles, and everybody now in their 80s, all of a sudden I felt compassion. I felt something that really, truly mattered to me. Another situation is, and if you have children, you understand this. I remember my daughter Kim, who I did not allow her to go out for Halloween until she finished her homework. And she got to the point where she finished her homework, but guess what? Halloween was over. It was after 9 o'clock, like 9:30. And at a point in time, I didn't have compassion for her. I didn't, instead of me saying I felt sorry, it was more of an attitude like, well, next time you learned your lesson, next time you should have done better. But again, Halloween didn't mean anything to me growing up. It meant a lot to her. I lack compassion. So today, if you're looking out there and you're watching TV and you're seeing one side or the other side and you're saying, I don't understand, ask yourself the question, what is it that I don't understand? What am I missing? Because that's what it boils down to. The people out there who are saying, I don't get it, is the people who are missing something. So you ask yourself the question, what is it that I don't understand? And when you find out the answer to that, then you can go to the next step and have compassion. The second thing that stops us from having compassion is that we're overwhelmed. We can only handle so much emotionally, so much compassion, so much. Once we get to a certain point, we shut down. If we hear 100,000 people died of the coronavirus, that is way too much for us to process, and we close down. We just shut down. If we hear there's things happening in our neighborhood that we can't process, we shut down. If we see homelessness people in our neighborhoods, we see that many people out there, and we don't know what to do, we shut down. It's normal. It happens to us all. There's certain things that we cannot handle, and that's okay. We have to understand that we reached our limit. But the third thing, and probably the most important reason why it stops us from being compassionate, is the fact that we ourselves are suffering. And not only we're suffering, but we're in denial about our suffering. We don't know what to do about our suffering. We can't handle our suffering. So when that happens, all of a sudden we see somebody else in pain or somebody else suffering, there's pity. We feel sorry for them. There's grief. We feel sorry. So instead of having the connection we felt just 2 minutes ago, we feel all these negative emotions. We feel aversion. We feel like we want to stay away from them. We feel guilty. How many homeless people we give money to feel guilty about? And there's no compassion there. And then sometimes we get to a point where we do things out of obligation and we think it's compassion. Compassion is a feeling inside that is good. And what happens is we get caught up in the suffering. Whenever there's that suffering exists, we get caught up in the suffering as opposed to getting caught up in the desire to ease the suffering. And that's what happens. And that's what we're feeling constantly. To the point where something is created called compassion fatigue. Now, we've all felt compassion fatigue before when we do so much for somebody that we're exhausted, we're overwhelmed emotionally. This is the problem. There is no such thing as compassion fatigue. It doesn't exist. Because compassion leads to feeling good. When you ease somebody's suffering, not end it, but you ease somebody's suffering, there's a good quality of feeling. What we actually feel, the suffering that we feel, that we think is compassion, pretty much is probably empathy. You see, with empathy, we feel their pain, but we don't do anything about it. So empathy is where pain meets pain. Suffering meets suffering. That's empathy. But with compassion is empathy. It is what suffering meets kindness. So when suffering meets kindness, that is compassion. And that's where we're at today. We have to separate the two. And when we separate them right, we understand what one needs and the other one does not. Empathy, we have a lot of empathy when empathy is just pain meeting pain. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Turning that pain into compassion is when we are now able to turn it into kindness to one another. It takes cultivating, and it's extremely difficult. That is why we're seeing the things we're seeing today. Pain meets pain. It is not compassion. Compassion is always something that at the end of the day, we feel good inside like we've done before. So next question, how are we doing? And we're going to do it now. We're going to do a mindfulness meditation. And mindfulness meditation is going to include compassion practices. Now, the difficulty, can be an extremely difficult process for a lot of people, because what we're going to do is first have compassion for that person that we had compassion for, that we talked about a few minutes ago. We're going to have compassion for ourselves. Then we have compassion for the first responders from the coronavirus. We have protesters, compassion for the protesters and the police. At any one point in time, if you have difficulties at all, stay with the mindfulness practice. It may be difficult because, again, suffering meets suffering. There is no compassion without suffering. If there's no suffering, no pain, there's no reason to have compassion at all. Doesn't exist. So compassion is pain meeting kindness. And that's what we're going to try to do. But at any point in time, we've worked on the different things that we've learned. When we talk about kindness to yourself, if you realize it that's coming too tough for you, stay with the breath, stay with the sounds. It does make a difference. So this is my warning. And what I'm going to do is go into it. I'm going to go out. I may go in and out depending on how difficult this may be, even for me. Because again, the good thing about this for me personally is that I am here with you. I'm doing the same thing, experiencing the same thing you're experiencing. My mindfulness practice doesn't make me any less anxious or feel sadness or anything else than you do. It just, I can express it a little bit better. So, all right, so we're going to start. We're going to make sure our feet is touching the floor. We're going to gaze down and close our eyes. We'll make sure our posture is right. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. And now we're going to have our normal breathing. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. We notice our chest expand as we breathe in and lower as we breathe out. We breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Now if our mind starts to wander, notice it is wandering. Whenever we notice it's wandering, that's mindfulness. When we notice we have feelings and emotions, anxiety, we're now being mindful. Just bring it back to the breath. You can use the sounds outside. You can use the sounds. Just listen to the sounds. Don't judge the sounds. They're just sounds. They're not good sounds or bad sounds. They're just sounds. Now let's bring attention to our face, because we're going to soften our face muscles. Starting with the forehead, we're going to just soften our forehead. Just relax the forehead. We're going to relax the eyes. We're going to relax our jaw and our tongue. Just relax our face. We're going to relax our neck muscles. Just soften them. Just relax them. We'll relax our shoulders and our arms. Now we're going to notice any sensation that's going on in our chest area. Do we feel any warmth? Do we feel any sensation, any tension? Just relax it. Just relax the chest. Soften the chest. Soften your stomach, your abdomen area. We'll notice our back to the back of the chair. Just notice it. Notice that leg as we sit comfortably in our chair. Notice our feet touching the floor. Notice our toes, our heel. Notice our whole body being in the present moment. And now we're going to bring to mind that individual that we recently helped. That we saw them suffering, we saw them in pain, and we did something that made their lives just a little bit better. It could have been just listening to them. We could just heard them. We could take 2 minutes of our time just to make their lives a little bit better. And all we're going to do is just wish them well. And say things like, may you be well. May you be well. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from your suffering. You may be free from your pain and your sorrow. May you be safe. May you be free from your suffering. May you be protected from danger. May you feel at ease. May you be well. May you be free from your suffering. May you be may you be free from your sorrow and your pain. I care about your pain. I care about your suffering. May you be at ease. Now just notice, take that in. Notice how your body's feeling because you're now helping an individual. You just want them to be well. And now we're going to turn attention to ourselves. We're going to wish ourselves well. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from pain. May I be safe. May I be protected from danger. May I be at peace. May I be free from all the anxiety that's happening out there today. Now, if you're having difficulty with this point in time, you have difficulty showing yourself compassion, bring it back to the breath. Go back to breathing in and taking it out. Breathing in and breathing out. If you're feeling the pity, if you're feeling grief, if you're feeling anxiety, just go and label it. Look at it and label it for what it is. It's anxiety. It's sadness. It's grief. Just label it and bring it back to the breath. Just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You may want to say things that things are as they are. May I be with things as they are. Things are as they are. May I be with things as they are. One person's happiness and unhappiness is based on their actions and not my wishes for them. One person's happiness and unhappiness is based on their actions and not my wishes for them. It may be difficult for people to make themselves feel deserving, to feel worthy. If you do that, go back to your original person. Wish that original person well. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be free from your suffering. May you be free from your pain and from your sorrow. It's difficult for some people to feel for themselves, to turn it around to them and say, may I be well. May I be free from suffering. May I be safe. May I be free from the anxiety that's going on. So right now, stick to what you feel the most comfortable with. You feel comfortable with yourself? Stick with the I. May I be free. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. If you want to stick with somebody you care about, may they be free from their suffering. May they be free from their pain. Or bring it back to the mindfulness where you're sitting and just taking it in. Where you're breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale. Where things are as they are, and may I accept things as they are. They are who they are. May I accept them for who they are. There's a lot to deal with at this point in time. Pick whatever it is you are comfortable with. These are the things we went through in the past 6 weeks. And whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, take a minute and just reach out to that person. Reach out to yourself. Take a minute. May you be free from your suffering. And now what we're going to do is help out all the first responders out there who've been taking care of us for the past couple of months. We want to wish them well. May you be well. All the first responders, all the healthcare workers, the bus drivers, may you be well. May you be safe. May you be protected from danger. May you be free from any pain out there that you may experience. May you be free from any suffering out there. May you have peace. May you have ease. The first responders has been good to us for the past couple of months, and all we want them is to be well. We want them to be free from any pain, free from any suffering. We want them to be safe. We want them to be protected from danger. We want them to be happy. We want them to be at ease. And now we're going to bring to mind all the protesters out there and all the police who are protecting the protesters, all the people out there who are suffering. We want them to be well. We wish them all well. May you be free from your suffering. May you be free from your pain. May you be free from your sorrow. May you be free. May you be safe. May you all be protected. May you all have ease. Okay, now we're about to open our eyes. We're going to end the meditation. And we hope we all just feel just a little bit better about life situations. And I hope we feel just a little bit better about today and the rest of the week and next week and the week after that. These are very difficult times. And today, this little half an hour of just pure being in the present moment helped me, and I hope it helped you all just as much as it helped me. So let's go to our exercise for the day. And again, if anybody ever have any questions, just send me an email, send me a text. I'll be glad to talk to you about it. Please reach out to me, no problem. But this week, just notice when a day you were compassionate and offer some appreciation to yourself. This is important. We all have to do this to ourselves to survive this week, because it's going to be a very difficult week for us. We have to work. We have to also be involved with all the things that are happening. So thank you very much. As always, though, continue to do what you have to do. Have your apps out there. Use your apps. Pick a day. Just do 10 minutes. I know we do 5 at 5, but we stopped that because we way beyond the 5 at 5. But keep at it. This is so important right now because we all need it, and it's helped me out a lot. And again, I hope it helped all of you. Thanks a lot. I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Thank you. Have a good day.